Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another classic film review. Today's classic film review is for the 1977 action-adventure film Capricorn One, a film that was written and directed by Peter Hyams, the great veteran director Peter Hyams, and it stars Elliot Gould, James Brolin, Sam Waterston, O.J. Simpson and Hal Holbrook, as well as Telly Savalas and Karen Black. Now, this is a film that I used to love years ago when I was young as a kid. I just thought it was a really exciting film, and I wanted to do a review of this for quite a while, and I've just managed to rewatch this film, and I've got to say I thoroughly enjoyed it once again. It's a long time since I've seen this film. And this film focuses on a group of astronauts, 3 astronauts, who are set to do a mission to Mars, basically. And they are to set off, and the film starts with them in their suits, getting in the spaceship, ready to be blasted off and head off to Mars. At the very last second, they are taken from the spaceship, put in a van, driven, put in an aeroplane and flown to the other side of the country, and they are then informed that the mission, if they had stayed on that spaceship, then they would have been dead in 3 weeks, because they ran out of money. The life system was going to malfunction and they would have died. However, there was so much riding on this mission, they can't afford for it to fail. So they basically give these astronauts an ultimatum: please help us fake this. And they've got this whole film set out for them to do their stuff on the planet's surface, and to film things from inside the cockpits and fool the whole world into thinking that this space mission was taking place. They are initially not very keen on this idea. However, their families are threatened and they are given no choice in the matter, basically. However, Elliot Gould is a nosy investigative reporter who gets wind of something a bit odd, because he's got a friend that works at NASA who tells him things just aren't right, don't seem to be right about this mission. His friend then goes missing, and then he starts digging even deeper, and he starts to suspect a huge conspiracy is taking place. Right, so that's the basic premise here of Capricorn One, and it's a great film. An absolutely fantastic film, great idea. It plays heavily into conspiracy theorists. All these people all these years have said the moon landings are fake. You know, they were never really happened. It was all faked. This plays right into that and gives you the scenario of what if, and it does it brilliantly well. My only real issue with this film is like the time scales of it. I mean, from when they were supposed to set off on this mission to literally when they were coming back, it's like 8 months, and when you watch the film it doesn't feel like 8 months. They don't spend an awful lot of time on the astronauts when they're being forced to fake everything. It feels like a week, 2 tops, and then when they make their escape, and they're chased by these helicopters and things like that, that feels like it happens almost, 1 or 2 days, and it's not the time scales just don't do the film justice, if you like, when you actually put 2 and 2 together, which I wouldn't have really taken a great deal of notice of years ago when I was younger, but it was blatantly obvious when I watched it now as a more observant adult, I suppose you could say. But it's a thoroughly entertaining film. Again, Hal Holbrook, who played a lot of bad guys in the 70s and 80s, plays this brilliant bad guy, but he's not a black and white bad guy in a sense. It's not clear. It's very grey area. He gives this great speech when he's telling the 3 astronauts why they need to help, and what will happen if the space program ends and all that. And he almost convinces you right up to the point where he threatens their families. When especially James Brolin, who plays like the leader of the astronauts, when he sort of says, well, I'm not sure I want to do this, and then he's like, well, you got to help, you have to help. Well, I don't think I want to. And then, but your families, and then it all changes, the mood changes very, very quickly then. Up to that point you were kind of with Hal Holbrook, you know, what's he supposed to do in this situation? You know, they ran out of money, the life support system was going to malfunction. If it fails, you know, the funding would have been cut, NASA would have been done. What else? What other choice did they have, really? So it was really, really a fascinating scenario, and there's not really, you know, the good guys and bad guys aren't as clear cut as you might think in this film, and I think that was really, really refreshing when I rewatched this. What I also find fascinating is the fact that this film had the full support of NASA, apparently, who did provide some things for the films, and especially advice and some props and things, even though ultimately NASA is the bad guy in this film when you actually analyse it. And I just thought that's really cool of NASA, to not be projected particularly in a positive light in this film, and they still took part and they still helped them make the film. I thought that was really, really cool. The three astronauts were really great. Yes, let's talk about the elephant in the room, O.J. Simpson. He is in this film. Thankfully, it doesn't say a lot, and apparently, while researching this film, the director Peter Hyams was kind of forced to hire him, but he was reasonably impressed with his performance, so it worked out okay. So if you've never seen Capricorn One, it's really, really a worthwhile film to check out. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. There are aspects of it are not brilliantly dated. It's not dated brilliantly. There are a couple of timeline issues here and there, but it's great. It's a great, entertaining adventure film. There's some really fun scenes in it, and Elliot Gould is an absolute treat, who plays this wisecracking reporter that is onto the story of the century. So there's elements of humour in it as well. Definitely worth checking out if you've never seen Capricorn One. So that is my review for it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and of course I'll see you back for more reviews on Screen Stars very, very soon.